Hello, good morning, everyone. Can we see your faces, please? Good morning, Manjuji. It's nice to see you here on time. We've actually been, Rajni, Vachara, we can see you guys as well. We've actually been contemplating taking a different series on the Thursday Thought Clinic. So we're going to be taking all your feedbacks on what series to begin for the Thursday Thought Clinic and whether to do some meditations for everyone or some downloads or just give a different sort of outlook and maybe even a different time for the series so that more of you can show up and more of you can take advantage of it. Because the idea is that if most people are consuming the content afterwards, then we can accordingly prepare it and accordingly have something that is catered for everyone, and that's something that most people can benefit from. So each of you, if you all have any recommendations as to what the next series should be, or what is it that you're looking for, what brings you here on Thursdays, and what is it that you think would bring best value? What is it that you might enjoy most? Please share that with us, because very soon we might be taking a different season of the Thursday Thought Clinic, modifying its way and form basis of whatever is going to benefit the most people. While we're still here today, we're going to be discussing the happiness wheel, which is something we've spent the last couple of weeks discussing emotions and how emotions are at the center stage of everything we feel. How, in order to feel anything in our lives, to realize anything within our lives, we need our emotions to stay stable, and acknowledgement of each of these emotions is important. We've discussed anger, grief, sorrow, so many of the emotions that are sometimes spoken of much lesser. But we've spoken about how all those different emotions have a huge impact on the way we lead our lives and on the quality of our lives as well. Today, we're going to speak about what brings them all together. We're also going to speak about the center stage of what brought the B technique out, because all of you have experienced it in some way, form, or manner through the different releases that we've done. So, today's topic is the happiness wheel. Now, what to you would be a happiness wheel? Anyone? What would be a happiness wheel as per you? A wheel, by its very nature, is something that keeps on going. A wheel keeps on going, and it allows for the smooth motion of your vehicle. While we are on this journey of life and we have our vehicles, which are the body, what is that happiness wheel which can keep that happiness going on and on and on? At the center point of us being happy constantly is our emotions, and is us feeling balanced with our emotions. Now, in order to feel balance with our emotions, there's only few things that might stop or get in the way of doing that. The B technique that is there is actually, B stands for balanced emotional empowerment. The name was very specifically thought, and we thought of so many different names when we were thinking of it, but we were like, no, we want to empower them, we want their emotions to be balanced, and then just coming up with all of that, we came up with balanced emotional empowerment, which goes to B. And the B technique, where all we're doing is we're taking off layers and layers of what we may be feeling, what we have piled on. If any of you have done sessions for a while, you've realized anytime that we've done the B releases, we start at a certain point, and then what it feels like is like so much weight is lifted off, or that we reach a completely different emotion by the end of it. Why is that? Because this technique was designed to just take off layers and layers of our emotions that may be getting in the way, that may be clouded sometimes when we're feeling extremely overwhelmed. When our emotions are imbalanced, why does that happen? Anytime that we're feeling disempowered, anytime we're feeling helpless, anytime we're feeling our emotions are not in balance, anytime we are reacting the way we, very differently from how we actually wish to behave in that situation, wish to respond in that situation. So many times you walk into a room You go in, you want to have a conversation with the person, you want to come to an agreement, you want to decide something, you want to go and tell your child something. And then they might say something or something happens and you'll see yourself react completely the opposite way. You had decided to go and calm, you had decided to have a good time. Anytime anyone has a fight or anytime anyone has a negative situation, it is not because they walk into the situation deciding that I want to create chaos. We have walked in saying, okay, chalo, I'm going to spend some time with my husband. Okay, I'm going to do this. But when our emotions are not balanced, when something is overwhelming us, when I have already had a long day, when I had, this thing, a long day, or someone said something negative to me, I was doing my best to cope with it, anything that is there, that is when somebody says something, and even if it is small and it triggers a big reaction, and we start reacting in the situation, and that's not at all what we wanted. Or we are calm and the other person is constantly reacting in a manner which is triggering you. What is happening? It's happening because there is already layers of things which have happened, which my mind has not processed, which my mind has not balanced out, which my mind has not figured how to deal with. And then something happens which triggers it off, which is why there's a huge reaction. So, how does the B technique work? How do we go about that balanced emotional empowerment? We use these energy meridian points, which are for change, which are for release. We tap on them or we simply glide along and we say those exact things which are triggering us. We use the sentences that are crafted, we understand how the technique works, and we release layers and layers of emotions. So what happens a lot of times is a person starts with feeling very overwhelmed, very upset, very angry, not knowing what to do in a situation. But by the time they're done with those couple of rounds, by the time and when you're learning, you actually learn what to do after the breathing. How to go about the situation post the breathing, what you get, how to connect those dots. What they realize is those layers and layers are gone, and now they've reached the point of what is actually bothering them. So, which is the time that you get empowered. And when you allow yourself to constantly be in balance of your emotions, because there is no age limit for it, any age can learn it. We know the youngest have been 5, 6 year olds because they see you doing that, they also continue to do that. The best way to inspire us to actually make shift, I've seen that. Like my 4-year-old kid comes and tells me, oh, you're not fit. Should I pass you healing? So when we're doing those layers and layers of shift and we're reaching a core emotion, because there is no age to it, it's so simple. We learn how to stay empowered in all situations. Anytime a situation triggers us, anytime a situation comes up where we're not sure what to do, we're like, okay, let me release this, let me deal with this. We actually came up with it because there were certain situations we found ourselves using it so much. For instance, you're going in an environment which triggers you. Going to the in-laws house, going to a certain place where you know that you get triggered very quickly because our energies are such. Our energetic field is all around us, our aura is all around us, and among people that we're comfortable with, among our family, etc., our aura is very, very open. It is not guarded, it is not protected, which is why also so many times when somebody comes into your space and they are very angry, they are very upset, they are very defensive, they are very happy or they're very sad, you will see that if your aura is open, specifically with family members, because our aura is more open at that time, we're not guarding and protecting ourselves. We sense what they're feeling before they even say it. And now, if I am feeling balanced at that point, I will be able to react in a neutral manner. I may be able to neutralize their emotion. But if our emotions itself are all over the place, what happens is when they enter our space, we suddenly start carrying that emotion and feeling that. So often we're like, that's how the technique actually came. When we're going to a place where you know that you get triggered easily, things that the person will say will hurt you easily, we do the B rounds before going there. So be happy was the premise of it all. How do we use balanced emotional empowerment so that we can stay happy all the time? And as time went along, we realized that, okay, happiness is one thing and we all want to feel it. But there are so many blocks that might be there in different areas of our life which stop us or do not allow us to feel it completely. Namely, our health. If your physical body is not supporting you, and that is not just having a big ailment or a big illness, you will see even the days that you're simply too tired. You don't feel like doing anything. You have all the goals, you want to do a lot of things, you want to even do something as simple as I want to sit and listen to this session. You'll be like, Acha, हाँ, I want to listen, but मैं बाद में सुनती हूँ, but I'll do this, but I'll do that. When our physical health is something, when our body, the vessel that we are carrying, is something which is not in alignment, it is difficult to be on this happiness wheel and constantly stay balanced with our emotions. If our emotions are hampered most often by what? By our relationships. So that's the second aspect of sometimes why we feel it's difficult to accomplish something, why we feel it is difficult to stay happy all the time. We give that reason that, oh, but you don't know, my husband is going through such a difficult time, or this person is so difficult. How do I deal with X person in my family? Whether it is kids, whether it is a partner, whether it is parents, whether it is anyone at all. When is it in relationships that we find it difficult to roll along that happiness wheel? Only and only when eventually in those relationships, talk to anyone in any relationship problem that they're quoting as a reason of their unhappiness. Because of this relationship, I'm not happy. So they'll say, they talk to me this way, I don't like it. Or I do everything for them, they're never there for me. They don't love me. Eventually, it all goes down to feeling unloved. I am not loved, and that's why I'm not happy. Because that is a very core thing that we seek in all our relationships. So we understand that it's different kinds of love, but we seek that love, that understanding within all our relationships. And which is the center point of why we quote so many times that I do everything that I can to stay happy, to stay empowered, to stay balanced. But when this person comes in front of me, I just can't. So, which is when Be Loving came about. Be Healthy came about, Be Loving came about. We realize, and that's why we always give you a feedback. We're going to realize what's getting in the way. And the best feedback, the biggest service that can happen is every person we meet, you realize that we're all so similar. Everyone will come from different walks of life, but the issues we face at the base level are just the same. What is the third reason that people find it difficult to stay happy, to remain happy? Abundance is missing. So paisa hai, money is there, but there's constantly a thing of where to use my money, how much money can I use, is there enough money, how can I earn more money? When I am not feeling abundant, when I'm not in an abundant mindset, when I'm not in a growth mindset, it is very difficult for one to stay happy, to stay that way. Because aapki necessities, when your necessities are attacked, when you're thinking about how you're going to pay the house bill, talking about emotions and saying empowered is great, but at that time, the only thing running in the person's mind is how will I pay this next bill? Where am I saving money? What can I do to save money? Why don't they understand the importance of money? Why can't I buy what I want? For that to change, our mindset needs to shift to a great extent to a growth mindset, where we know what is growth, where we embrace growth, where we feel that growth. But when I'm finding that abundance missing, when I'm unable to see it, unable to feel it, at that point it becomes very difficult because the mind is constantly based in scarcity. For any spiritual growth or any growth at all to happen, emotional, mental, spiritual, all my chakras need to be aligned, need to be balanced. I need to feel in sync. The universe or your angels will want to help you, but till you don't feel that sync, till you don't feel like they're around, it's extremely difficult. So, how will that happen? When your root is missing, when you don't have something to ground you, when you're struggling for your roti kapda makan, when you're not in an abundant mindset, it is difficult to believe that the universe has my back, that the universe is there for me. The irony of it is that at that time, the universe, which can support you in all manners, which is abundant, it's impossible to almost believe that and ask also. Because all you have to do is ask at that point. But uske liye, whatever blocks we have towards our abundance, whatever blocks we have towards our health, whatever blocks we have towards our relationships are something that need to go. And the fourth and the other reason, only other reason that we find that people are stuck where they are stuck is because they find it difficult to connect to themselves. Somewhere along life's journey, somewhere along doing all these things, they've changed themselves so many times. They've adjusted to every mold that came so many times that today, when you ask them, what do you like? What do you want in your relationship? What do you believe about something? There is no answer, or the answer is all a mix of what everyone else has told them life should be, what everyone else has told them a relationship should be. So that is one of the biggest and the key things that is important. Do you know who you are? Do you know who you want to be? Every time, everything we discuss, we speak about, if you are in alignment with yourself, everything can grow ahead. So do you know who you are? Do you know what makes you happy? Do you know what your dreams and goals are? Because if you don't know what those dreams and goals are, you do not know what makes you happy, you do not know what makes you feel loved, no matter what anyone else is doing, you will not feel that emotion. Because it is like looking for something and I don't even know what I'm looking for. होता है ना, it's like somebody is looking frantically, अरे ढूंढना है ढूंढना है ढूंढना है, and they're like, अरे what are you finding? Like पता नहीं. So when I don't know what I'm looking for, वो मेरे सामने होगा and I'm not going to realize it, I'm not going to see it. So being you is extremely, extremely important. That whole course is designed by Sangeeta Shah to find actually literally what are the things that will remind you of you, what are the activities designed just to see how to connect you to you and release all the layers that are keeping you from the magnificence which is you. So what are those things? What are your priorities? When you are listing your priority list, where on that list do you fit? Do you know that? Are you aware of that? If you're not, please do that. Because when we resolve all these areas of life, what happens is it's very easy to change frequency. It doesn't mean you will not feel emotions, it doesn't mean you will not feel sometimes overwhelmed. You will experience everything. Those emotions are the core of everything. So that wheel is going on the road. It will face a tough road also. It'll face some water also. It'll face a pothole also. But it knows how to navigate it. It's not a challenge. You know that, oh, okay, if I'm feeling cold, this is how the TV remote, the AC remote operates. All I need to do is change this. But when I don't know how something works, when I don't know how my emotions work, when I don't know what to do with them, when I don't have the tools to do it, that is when I'm feeling, oh my God, this is too much. That is when I'm feeling, how could they be so inconsiderate? They made the AC so cold. When I know that the remote is here, all I need to do is change it. That's simple. We don't allow ourselves to get into overthinking loops or anything of that sort, and we allow our happiness wheel to keep on going in a way that is healthy, that is something that works. All right, so that is how the entire B module is actually designed. All of you have experienced it. I want to know today if there is anything along your happiness wheel that you think is a block. What blocks you from staying happy? Any of you that are here on the live session, if there's anything you want to share, please either raise your hand or put it on chat, because I will personally take it up and we will release it with B rounds if required today. So what is it that keeps you from being happy? Are you happy? Do you think you're connected to your happiness wheel? Do you allow happiness in your life? Is happiness when there's a wheel, you go up and down, it keeps going round and round. So you will feel all the different emotions, but the idea is that you center back to happiness. And it doesn't feel forced. It feels like something that you're automatically doing. Anything which is our key emotion, our top emotion among all the other different emotions that we feel, anything that is our top or key emotion, our core emotion, is something we will keep going back to very naturally. It is like wo compass hota hai na, there's north, south, east, west. But when you put it, when you let it stay in one place, it will find its center again. Idea is to make that center your happiness. Yes, Maya. Can you put your camera on, please? Maya has raised her hand. Okay, I don't see her here. She had raised her hand. All right. So if any of you ask answering that, is Maya here?
Yeah,
Can you start your video? Because there is a
yeah, yeah,
lapse, I believe, with
yeah. Hi, Richa. Good morning.
good morning.
Yes, Richa, there is one cycle which I'm facing every time. I think so. It might help me. Like I want to do something. I am very into to do it. I'm very determined to do it. But due to some or the other, maybe in the surrounding, in the family, and something like it doesn't happen. I cannot do that thing. So it gets procrastinating, going on. And then at one point, then I just leave it. I said, forget it. It's not there in my this. So I just leave it. But this cycle keeps on coming every time. Maybe, yeah, something like small, for example, buying a small dress or maybe doing some course. But everywhere it is coming, it is triggering again and again. So at that very moment, I feel very upset. I feel very let down. I feel like what is happening every time it is happening with me only or something like that. And then, like after 3, 4 days or 5 days, then I'm back to normal. Okay, it's okay. Existence doesn't want to do it, and I just start working in becoming normal. But this is the cycle what I'm facing every time.
So thank you for sharing that, because I'm gonna we will do some rounds on it. But what I want to tell you before that is, because this is going to be group, right? So we're probably not going to get to the very core of what it is for you. So I'm going to tell you, or rather ask you things, and I want you to introspect on those and write that down and see then what to do about it. That might help you to get to the core. Okay?
Right,
So now, anytime a cycle is repeating again and again, it is never coincidence. Okay?
right,
Thing
right,
repeats itself by coincidence. It is repeating because something wants to get your attention, but it's not happening. Now, that sometimes what happens, everyone, is what we think is a strength for us or is the superpower. For instance, you see humans acclimatize to anything. They can get used to anything at all. You go to a very cold climate, also after 5 minutes, you'll be absolutely comfortable. You saw COVID happened, everyone dealt with a very difficult time. But we got acclimatized to it. It became the new normal. You lose a family member, you feel extremely sad. But then you become normal. Life goes on, right? So it is one of the principles that is there. However, in some situations when something wants to draw our attention, but we use this survival skill. What is this? This is a survival skill. हाँ ठीक है. Okay. Maybe it's not meant to happen. You will see, even when you're going through a very tough time, no? For instance, you've seen people who are in toxic relationships also. You know, the person talks anyhow. They feel extremely bad. They feel suicidal. They want to do so many things. They feel sad. They feel angry. They feel everything. By the time it happens the sixth time, seventh time, 10th time, no, their mind is acclimatized. So survival kicks in. How does a person stay in an abusive situation? Survival has kicked in. Job is not good for me, but I need the money. Person is not good for me, but I need the relationship. Survival kicks in, तो survival says, हाँ ठीक है चलने दो, कोई बात नहीं. But this is not a matter of survival. Everything you want is something that is for your growth. Survival में growth नहीं होती. Survival means a cycle is going on. चल रहा है. Mind over matter. Think about if you actually do get those things. Pick one, then pick another. Go one by one. Okay, if I actually did get that dress, how would I feel? Be absolutely honest with yourself. Okay, I will, like, I'm giving examples. I'm shooting in the dark. Oh, I'd feel really nice. I think I'd look really good in it. I'd feel confident, whatever it is. Get to that emotion. If I actually get to do those courses, how will I feel? What will it give me? And go 2-3 layers deep. Don't go on the surface level. Surface level का आपको पता है. हाँ नहीं नहीं अच्छा लगेगा. Okay, I'll feel good, but then what all will I be able to do? How will get to that emotion? You will see in all those things that you want to do which are not happening, there will be only one or two key emotions that you're really going to feel when that'll happen. That the result is going to be almost the same, even though class and dress might feel different, the result you will realize is the same. And then when you've reached that result, I'm going to feel fulfilled, content, whatever it is, make it as specific as you can. Then think about, why am I so scared of feeling this way? Because even though it feels like my mind is against me, your mind is your biggest friend. But till I'm scared of it, I will not allow it to help me. I have the police here, right? We have them. The police is meant to help me. What is a doctor meant to do? A doctor is a community helper. Meant to help. Police, doctor, etc. They're here to help us. But you see a child, right? And you say, doctor ke paas jana. Or you think I have to go to the doctor and you're very scared. Till I'm very scared of somebody that is supposed to help me, I cannot let them help me. I won't go only to the doctor till the illness becomes very big. The police is supposed to be helping me, but अगर बचपन से आप पुलिस आ जाएगी, पुलिस आ जाएगी, पुलिस आ जाएगी, in my head somewhere somebody who's meant to help me becomes the enemy instead. So I will do everything to avoid the police, but never think of the police as there to help me. Similarly, your mind also is there to help you. But just now I'll do everything to stay away from them because I will feel something, then I won't get it, then this. Once you know what is making you scared of getting that emotion, then work on that and go like, okay, I want this. You want to do a course? Think about how will I want it? Yes. I always tell people, karna hai na. First thing to do, because I've spoken to so many people. Richa, I don't have money. Richa, I don't have the time. Richa, it's impossible. I have this plan. And sometimes the situation is genuinely nothing can happen about it. It is a pre-decided thing which is supposed to happen. I'm like, do you really want to do it? I said, just answer that and I tell them, tell me honestly, if you are in doubt, it's okay. But do you really want to do it? If you're just telling me, I really want to do it to appease me, don't do it. Do you really want to do it? And the times that they say, yes, I do, I say, okay. Then it is neither your problem nor mine how the money will come, how the time will come, how anything will happen. This happens now. I have an intuitive anatomy. It's a 3-week class. I'm not going to schedule another one for 6 months, 8 months. They really want to do it. but I can't change a 3-week schedule for all the other students. I'm like, okay, you set your intention for it and pay up. Okay, pay the deposit. They've done this, and I can tell you, I have 100 out of 100 ratios where whatever they were supposed to do, whatever problem they had, I'm like, you set an intention that I am paying her by this date. If I've given everyone a deadline of 10 days, I give them a deadline of 4 days. That by this day, I want your money to come in, and I'm not going to refund. I'll let you do it in another batch if it doesn't happen. You will not believe it, Maya. Every time the money somehow comes in from a place they're not expecting it at all. कोई आके देके जाता है. As soon as they've decided, and I give them a date because their mind, it's tangible then. It is not that I can do it whenever. I have to do it now. Otherwise, your mind will prioritize everything it can. Suddenly, there'll be a leakage in your house. You need to put money there. Suddenly, someone else will fall ill. So,
Yeah, many unexpected things keep on coming.
because if it's not important for you, it's not important for anyone else. You
Right.
make it important. You decide, I am going here on this date and I'm paying money in 2 days. Finished. That's why instead of 10, I give them 4 days. I'm like, 4 days, I want your money in. If you trust me, you will sit there and do it. Money has come in, time has come in. Suddenly, their kids ka something happens. Suddenly, their school things which are scheduled months in advance gets rescheduled. Trips which are planned, 2 other couples cancel and it gets rescheduled. It has happened 100 out of 100 times. It's a mind over matter thing. Get over your resistance and then just decide a date and to go to it. So dress lena, I'm buying this dress tomorrow. Nothing doing. Your mind will make it happen. I am registering for this course now. I'm giving the facility. I'm just saying, okay, you can't do it in this batch, do it in the next. But pay the money, which is going to be non-refundable, just because then your mind will make it happen. Till then, your mind will keep going in survival of, do I need it? It's okay. I can survive without it, but you cannot thrive. See what you can do to thrive. So are you scared of thriving? Because we stay in survival mode, and this is for everyone. We stay in survival mode constantly. We choose to stay in survival mode only when we're scared of thriving. So I told you this whole exercise, but years of experience, I can say it confidently. Eventually, you'll go to a fear of really shining, really thriving, which is why your mind is keeping you basic. It's keeping you surviving. Get over that. And it's only through 2 ways. Either you actually do the emotional work or you take action. Emotion se action aata hai, action se bhi emotion aata hai. Just do it. Don't let anything get in your way. And money, like people they come and give them money. They're like, it was somebody called me and said, oh, I had to give you money from so much time back. No, I'm giving this. Oh, Raksha Bandhan ka cover 6 mahine pehle dena tha, abhi de rahe.
Right.
That happened. We have live cases of it. So just you decide to tell your mind, we're moving to thriving. How does anyone go from a negative to positive mindset? Gratitude diary, le lo, anything you take. You suddenly wake up one day and decide it's going to be difficult. It's going to be, but I'm going to do everything I can to say, I'll write it. No, fake it till you make it. So you tell your mind, this is what we're doing, and your brain is a muscle. It is used to surviving, तो उसका आदत है. उसको thriving की आदत लगानी पड़ेगी, लेकिन लग जाएगी.
Is
Makes
it Richa like that कि we have been, what we say, nourished only that way from the very childhood? नहीं मिला है ना बेटा, बाद में मिल जाएगा.
Of course, genetics है. उसके अलावा you have historical experiences, and forget genetics history. Your immune system operates on survival.
Right.
So everything in nature is working in that, but you also see the opposite also exists. Survival of the fittest. So what can I do to stay in that state? It is conditioning. So हम लोग जब बोल रहे B rounds करेंगे, we'll do releases. The idea is to release that conditioning. But because so many people उनको वो सेशन में आने के लिए, वो क्लास में आने के लिए, there'll be people जो they महीनों से इंक्वायर करेंगे, how do I do, I want to do, no, really I want to, really I want to do. And I tell them, then just take the leap. This much facility I will offer you of shifting the class. But that is all, because if I give you that extra facility also, no, your mind will never
Then it
commit.
won't work out. Then it
How
won't
do you
work
how do
out.
you think people do so well once they get married? Like they have to get married before a person has a child. Before that, I don't know how to deal with the child. How will I take care of a child? How will I make them bigger? Then you become a mother, and then what happens?
Right.
You learn. You fall in the water. You learn how to swim. But if you don't go into the water only, you keep circling around, you cannot learn. So you take the action. Your mind, the universe can support you in it. So that's why I said, keep your intention clear. If I'm just shopping because abhi to mujhe karna hai shopping, no. What will it give me? Is it giving me something that I really want? We are conditioned to that. The being human, though we realize so much. We are conditioned through what we see, but we're also conditioned through what we have done to ourselves. What version of myself have I made every time? Because every time I felt like someone else's need was more important. You will see that days you do absolutely nothing. But in your mind, you've been doing a lot of things. This person said they're going to call me in 10 minutes and they had some work from me. So I'll just wait for 10 minutes and I'll do that. They've not done what they really. I want to exercise, for example, and I'm like, I want to exercise, but then my husband called me. He said today he had some very important work. He needed me to be free. I'll finish that, then I'll do that. But now the cook doesn't know how to make my son's favorite food, so now I'm going to first sit and do that. Your mind is giving excuses because it has prioritized everyone else, and nobody else did that to you. You did that to you. Because of conditioning, because of societal construct, because of whatever. But question being, do I want to stay stuck in the why this happened to me? Why am I like this? Because you might get the answers to all your whys and you will reach nowhere. You will come to know why you are like this, why you think like this, why you give everyone importance. You'll feel little more pity about yourself. You'll feel like, Arey, I give everyone else importance. But at the end of the day, is that getting you anywhere in life? There's so many people who come and say, ask anyone, they will say, this person is always there. Everyone knows that, if any help is which is a good thing to have. But are you getting anywhere? If that help was not needed, would they still come to you? Is your relationship mutual? So think about, can I go from surviving to and when you will reach that best version of yourself, you will see the same people that you want to help, that you want to be there for. Aren't you going to actually be able to be there for them in a much stronger capacity? Stronger than cooking their favorite food, to actually be there when they need you to navigate their emotions, to understand how to get over a breakup, to understand how to get the job that actually makes them happy. Our children see us, our children embody everything that we're doing. And that this is not something that is happening only when they're 2 and 3. 2 and 3, it is happening. But a child who is seeing their mother constantly suppressed, for instance, is taking that on. They're either going to become extremely suppressed or polar opposite end. Because anything that happens in an extreme, no, you need another extreme to combat it. So normal food, but if you remove frozen food, you'll put it in boiling hot water to use it. Right? Because it is so cold, so it needs that extra hot water to combat it. If you're feeling extremely cold, you'll take extremely hot water. So a child also sees constant ke, it's okay, दूसरों का कर लो, दूसरों का कर लो, दूसरों का कर लो. They either look at it as that is the only way to get approval, or that किसी का करना ही नहीं है. So when we reach an empowered state, when we reach a balanced state, what happens? They see that balance can work. They see that, the whole life this person was proving to their partner that, oh, listen, I'm here, I'm there, I'm important. Now they've made themselves, they've got their status up so high that the other person is like, listen, I'm also important. Like that changes, and we've seen that for That's the beauty of it, guys. We've seen it for all ages. I remember one lady coming for a much higher level class, and she was, I think, in her 58, 60 years old. And, of course, very old school thinking in most things. And she was just generally, she was doing the intuitive anatomy, which is a higher level class, and the changes, the shifts that were happening. And she tells me one day, my husband needs like kapde ko 6 baar isti ke, like there should be not one crease on their safari suit. And she goes, every time I used to get so irritated because already the servant has pressed it, then again you have to press it. And how many times my whole life will go in this only? But now she had moved from the why to the what next. She was empowering herself. Okay, you're going to give me this money to buy this? My money, no, my thing. I want to use it here. She was coming for the classes and she said, I told, today I just like my perspective has shifted. I told him, Are you want this no extra iron? You're ironing your clothes, I iron mine also. Her husband ironed her clothes for her and he did it very normally because sometimes the whole build up is in our head. And because we feel like I'm going to say this, this will happen, we have imagined a situation forward and that exactly manifests in that manner. But when you are not in a state of survival, when you're not in a state of conflicting, you feel this way, I feel this way, but none of us have to be right. Agree to disagree. Like, I'm not in a state where I want to prove myself to you. You will see that this harmony is just so much easier. So she didn't make him iron her clothes because she wanted to prove her power. She wanted to be powerful. It was something naturally. She's like, "Haan, aap bhi kar," but because she was so resolved in her energy, he very happily did it. And he was so proud. He's like, see, my wife is wearing itna, अच्छे से किया हुआ. It was just like the chemistry only badal jata hai wo pura. But move from survival, like surviving to thriving. If you just note down the things that I told you, do that and really set an intention. See what you want to do and tell your mind, this time let's do it. It doesn't have to be result. It just has to be like, karna hai yaar, karte hain. Let's do it. What do I need to do to make this step happen? I need to, sign up. I need to go there and show up. Do it. Because still you will tell your mind it's okay. It can happen tomorrow. Your mind will say, Arey, today this is more important. Like I'm telling you, you can actually look at days you've done nothing because in your mind you've given it an excuse. So when it sees कि आज मैं ये कर सकती हूँ, I can actually hear the module. But the mind says, no, but there is this. Change it. It's your brain, it's your mind. It's going to support you. Just decide to change it. That's all. Okay. Anyone else?
Thank you, Richa.
You're most welcome. I hope that answers. You got some clarity as to what you were looking for.
Yes. Lot of clarity.
Okay. Okay, so since nobody else has anything to share, I'm going to do a very quick round before the download. Since I did promise you all a B round, we'll do a very, very quick round on the resistance that we face before taking action that we want to take. All right. So is everyone up for doing a B round? You all remember these are the energy meridian points that are there. We rub along those, or you can tap along those.
Yes.
Also along your knees, so you can just have them roaming around on your knees as well. All right, so just repeat in your mind as we're doing that. Although I really wish to stay happy in life, I really choose to stay happy. I want to be happy in life, but so many times it is difficult for me to truly be happy or to feel happy from within. Even the times that I feel happy, it just stays for a little while. And I'm not quite sure why that is. I still choose to, deeply and completely, love and accept myself and heal and integrate that part of me. Although, when I think of being happy, I do sometimes everything that is in my power to feel happy, to stay happy, to do what I know what would make me happy. Sometimes I think the issue is that I just don't know what makes me happy. But a lot of times, even when I think that buying a certain dress or doing a certain activity is going to make me happy, I still find it difficult sometimes to do the things that make me happy because of different reasons. Either it is the fact that, all the people in my life need me at that time, and in my relationships, in my closest relationships particularly, I find it difficult to explain to them what I really want in life, to truly share my vision, or they always have something and their needs always supersede mine. And in that relationship, I just see myself bending in and giving in. But I truly want those relationships to do well in my life. But I realize that at the center point of that needs to be mutual love and respect. But in that desire for being loved, being accepted, for people thinking like I am a good person, and in just wanting to prove that, I find myself just prioritizing everyone else's wants, needs, desires, and dreams before my own. I just put myself on the back burner every single time. And I know it's not fair, but I also realize that it's a choice I am making every time. Or it is that sometimes that my physical body simply does not support it or does not have the strength to execute what it is that I want to do and what it is that would make me happy. But making my body strong is also my own choice. And I know that if I want to do that, even if there has been damage done till now, even if I have always been the yes man or yes woman, and I've always said yes to everyone else, I've ignored my own body, my own needs, to the point that sometimes I don't even know what it is that I truly want, or whether what I want is important enough or not to for me to give it priority, for me to make it happen. I know that it is still possible to change that the minute I decide to change that. So I still choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself and heal and integrate that part of me. Although, somewhere, even in our conditioning, even in our societal constructs, our genetic and our past life patterns, we have that thing where we feel like it's okay if something didn't happen for us. It's okay, we can do it later. It's okay, and to simply let go. However, that letting go is happening more and more somewhere because I am unfocused on what my true goals, dreams, and desires are. And in that way, I'm getting in the way of the universe, allowing those to happen. I'm not quite sure whether it is a survival mechanism in me that just, looks at how to survive a certain situation, a relationship, a job, any situation. But what I don't know what exactly it is that keeps me in this survival mechanism where life seems to just routinely be going forward. But now I choose to break free from that, to actually grow, to let my soul grow, to let myself grow emotionally, mentally, to physically feel better as well, to grow in all manners positively, to get to a space of thriving. And for that, what is really required is for me to see and program my brain to make action happen, to allow my brain to take action that is aligned to my highest self as well. Knowing and understanding that self growth is not selfish, because it's only through growing ourselves and through becoming our best version that we can offer our best version to anyone else as well. So, even for the people that we love, we can truly be there and truly, help them, support them, be there for them, do anything at all. When we are our best versions, we can never pour from an empty cup. So now I choose to fill my cup with love, joy, health, abundance, inner peace, and growth. I still choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself and heal and integrate that part of me. Both hands on your chest, taking in 7 deep breaths, breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. Breathing in growth, joy, and moving forward, and alignment to your own goals, dreams, and desires. Breathing out through the mouth, all the excuses that your survival self is giving to keep you stuck right where you're at. Breathing in the feeling of joy, freedom, peace as you break free from your comfort zone and move towards growth, as you learn how to fly. Breathing out any illusion that the comfort zone is safer. Breathing in peace, breathing out conflict. Would you like to know that I know and understand the creator of all that is his definition and perspective of growth? But I know what it feels like, how to, when to, and that it is safe and possible for me to grow emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally, and to allow myself to grow ahead and grow forward in life in the most beautiful manner, being aligned to my goals, dreams, and desires, knowing that it is safe for me to have my own goals, dreams, and desires too, and that I deserve those, and that I can choose to have goals, dreams, and desires and to pursue them without the fear of it being written in stone, that those can evolve, and without the fear of that causing conflict or that being selfish, that I know what it feels like to be able to fill my own cup, so I'm able to be able to truly be there for others as well. To know what it feels like to allow myself to take action in life, knowing and understanding action as per the creator of all that is his definition and perspective, knowing what it feels like, how to, when to, and that it is safe and possible for me to take action within my life that is positive, to take action towards growth, to move to a growth mindset, to know what it feels like, to understand how important it is to focus on the self and align the self, understanding what it feels like to align myself wholly and completely so that I may allow growth to happen within my life, to align my thoughts, emotions, and actions, and to move towards my best self, to allow that, to know and understand the creator of all that is his definition and perspective of happiness, empowerment, and balanced emotions, and to know what it feels like, how to, when to, and that it is safe and possible for me to live my daily life with a balanced emotional state, empowering myself and choosing happiness, choosing my happiness, allowing and understanding myself within my space that as I am happy, I can make anyone else happy. That I choose to ride this happiness wheel, being healthy, abundant, joyous, connected to myself, and loving myself, and allowing that self-love to grow forward and be reflect from all my relationships as well. Would you all like these downloads into every cell, atom, molecule of your body, every area of your life, at all four levels of your belief systems, and in any and every language ever known or understood by you, for your highest and best and in your highest and best manner? Simply affirm yes to receive the download. Okay, everyone, when you're ready, just simply come back to this room, take a deep breath, and open your eyes. Wishing each of you a beautiful week ahead. I hope you can take this knowledge forward and just know that being happy, doing things for yourself, self-love, self-growth, self-worth, self-happiness, self-respect is not selfish. It is only when you plant that seed inside of you that you can truly give it to someone else. How can an unhappy person make other people happy? How can a person who doesn't know their own emotions coach someone else about it? Generally, the struggle comes that we want to ignore the self because we feel like, oh, I have to be selfless. I have to be there for everyone else. But how can you really add to anyone else's happiness without knowing what your happiness is first? If you don't know what happiness is, it's like your child comes to you with a concept and they ask you what it is, you have no idea what it is, so you just make up an answer and you're giving it to them. That becomes their version. But when you're going to be happy, you're not even going, it's not going to be an effort to make other people happy. You see the people that are just happy, that just have an infectious aura. Just them being them is contributing. So please, if you think it's selfish, also please be selfish, because only when you're selfish, can you be selfless? Ironically, being selfish is the first step to being selfless. So please do it. Focus on yourself. Learn how to be happy. The tools are at your disposal. Please use them. And wishing you all a amazingly happy, selfish, selfless week. Take care and see you soon.